I can't believe that you're here in the flesh.
I'm in person.
It's like I overdosed on sugar or candy or something. I know bad. Like
I'm just used to seeing you behind the screen.
I know. Like let me touch you.
Oh
my God.
Holding space, holding space.
And in Nashville, nonetheless,
I know, of all places.
which I feel Nashville is quickly becoming a Janet Devlin HD.
I wish. Someone asked me that the other day. They're like, would you move to Nashville? And I was like, if I could afford health insurance, totally. It's crazy.
I know. Well, the health insurance in this country. The whole episode.
I know, but like as a like I like Nashville because it feels home in the way that like it's very like close knit, like everybody knows everybody. The town itself isn't massive either, and I mean it's like what 10 minutes to the airport.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Is that not how it is? And I'm asking, from like I really don't know. You go to all over like London. You live in London, right?
Yeah.
Like are others like is that not like the music community as tight knit? Is it more competitive?
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm not really in it.
Okay.
I like to stay in the outskirts.
Okay. That answers that.
I don't. Yeah, I pretty much like. I've had musicians in my band for like 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
Like I keep the same people, like good people, like
Yeah.
like my band especially, like they're the best of sweet boys. They're so wholesome. They're so cute. And like, the most they'll have is like 2 beers whilst watching the football.
So when you come to Nashville, Janet, now you've come a few times. Like, what are your places? Like, what do you like to do? Like, what are the routines that you're starting to build?
Oh, don't, because there's so many things that I shouldn't be doing. But the first thing I did when I came here was I went to Music City Thrift.
Okay.
Of course. Like I love thrifting. Well, in the UK we call it like charity shopping, but like I just love hoking. Like it triggers that primordial part of my brain, like hunting for things. This trip not so much, but normally like after even being in the studio or whatever, just going out and seeing some music. Like, which is the most humbling experience ever. It's like you're watching people and you're like, should I just quit now or later? But it's just a city that keeps on giving, really. And obviously I have to pick up things from the pharmacy that we can't get in the UK.
Right, I get that.
So like it has to be done.
Well, I mean, yeah, and you've integrated to the community so well, and so happy you're coming more often.
I'd love to be here more. Like honestly, like the dream is obviously to do a gig here. Like that would feel so surreal.
Of course, it's gonna happen.
Like it'll happen eventually, but I will cry.
Yeah.
I will cry. And call my mom like 10 times.
Yeah. Waste that.
Literally.
Let me ask you about. I mean, your album last year. We just touched about it. It's so good. But Back to My Senses, you just released a bunch of stuff for that song.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking, it's a very introspective song, really.
Yes.
Because it deals with that duality that we all deal. I mean, I'm kind of dealing with someone right now. About like, working on yourself versus also being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like you struggle with that, right? Like we would like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You still do?
Do you know what? No, I really took it serious. Like 3 years ago now, I think it was. I got a psychiatrist. I really wanted to get better. I just wanted to be normal so bad. And I know with like the conditions I have, especially the borderline, like people get so comfortable. No, they get familiar with the chaos and they love the chaos because like that's moods up, down in a day.
So it gives them like in a weird way, it gives them comfort.
Yeah, it'll never be comfortable, but it will always be familiar.
Gotcha.
And people recovering from that condition is very rare. Because of that's all is chaos, always. But yeah, I was just like, please just make me normal. So I stuck at it, and now it's in remission, which I was told was barely impossible to get. So I'm freaking over the moon.
Let me ask you this, because last time we talked, you talked a little bit about your therapist and how you give him credit on the album and that whole thing.
Yeah, he does.
Like, explain something to me, because I'm really curious. Like I want to know, when you like find like a trauma with your therapist. Okay, it's like you found it, and that's awesome. It feels in a way liberating that you found it. But then after you find it, like how do you like start to like work on it?
I don't know. So like for me, it was like getting on the meds, which balanced my moods out, which meant I wasn't blinded by mood swings constantly. because I'd already done years and years worth of like therapy. Like I'd talked about everything, like, but then still wasn't getting better.
Right. I mean, you're already like an author, like.
But truly, it was like I knew what my problems were, and I knew where the issues were. There was just times where I couldn't get better because I'd get blinded by episodes and things like this. And now that I don't have that, like I don't have these big episodes. I mean, occasionally I will, but like it's very rare. Like it means I can just live life and just take every day as it comes, you know. But obviously dating people within that is not gonna be easy. Like when I wasn't in recovery for that, like, oh my God, like it was chaos. The worst part about that condition is you tend to go for people that display quite a lot of narcissistic tendencies.
Why is that?
I think narcissists like people with BPD because they can't control them as much as they would someone else. They can't
manipulate.
Yeah, they can't pin them down. And a BPD person likes it because it's addictive, because you're never always going to get the love you want. It's like gambling. It's like gambling addicts aren't gambling because they're winning. They're addicted to the ups and the downs, to the highs and the lows and all that. So that's what it becomes. So then it's just a really, really awful relationship.
But it's so cool to like be with you in the same room, because your energy is very, very like tranquilizing. Like it's very nourishing.
Yeah, not all the time.
Well, but
Yeah.
but you know, and you are very like. I love how you like talked about the things that you have done to get to this level. It was like horse riding, like it like
Oh, yeah.
sorts of different things, right?
I mean, if I'm gonna have to exercise, I might as well make it fun.
Yeah.
It's either horse riding or Olympic lifting. You have a choice.
Yeah. Exactly. When you travel, like how do you do active? Like, do you stay active at all? Like when you come here to Nashville?
If I had longer, I would definitely have gone to like a ranch somewhere around here and taken a horse out.
Yeah.
Just gone for a walk.
Donkeys.
Oh, wish, like, yeah. Nah, like it would have been sick to do like a trail or something, just because I always think it's like, you know, God bless my parents for getting, you know, paying for me to have lessons and stuff, because it's really this hobby that you can take with you anywhere. It's like riding a bike. So whenever I go to cool places, it's like, go for a trail, go for a little walk in the country on a horse. It's, in my opinion, the best way to see it.
How many years have you been sober now? Yeah.
So I got sober at 20. I relapsed after 3.5 years, but now again, 6 years.
Relapse. Like, what does that mean? Like, what? Like once? Like a one-off? Like a one bit?
It was like a week.
Like a week.
Well, realistically, it was a month, and I drank 4 times.
Okay.
And it wasn't crazy. It wasn't chaotic. It wasn't anything. It was just for me like a symbol of like something's not right.
Sure.
You know, I didn't hit it hard. I didn't, you know, go out and do anything the way that I used to go missing for days or anything like that. So then I put myself in rehab. I took all my savings, which wasn't a lot, but like enough to lay a deposit on a house. And I took that and I put my butt in rehab. And my aunt lent me the extra $3,000 because it still wasn't enough to pay for it. So now, since then, I've been 6 years sober in January.
Congrats.
Thank
I
you.
feel like you were like one of the first people that started, you know, this movement, because I think it's very popular. Like in Nashville, I don't know, you've seen a lot of people talk drinking.
They don't. And the music industry in general feels like, for me, I've seen it change whenever, because I used to be a big fan of the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, obviously they were chaos and a ball.
Sure.
And then I remember when I was in active addiction, I remember watching a documentary or behind the scenes thing, and they're all doing yoga and drinking green tea. And I'm like,
this is
what is this? It's not very rock and roll, guys. But no, a lot of people are getting sober. And like the younger generation, even the generation below me, like, don't really drink.
Right.
And like, yeah, and I get it. It's like, there's not that pressure maybe as there was before. Like obviously people going to college and university and stuff, like you'll do that. But it's nice to see that there's more people doing it, more people talking about it. So it becomes way more normal.
Yeah.
And you know what, being honest about my recovery has been awesome as well, because like people that aren't out there publicly with it, like other artists, musicians and stuff, will pull me aside and have a talk about it. Yeah. And I really like that. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'm actually like 8 years, 10 years sober, or like I've just started, and I think that's really cool, because it's nice to feel like a safe person.
I love it.
And I think it's really sweet.
It's been really great to see like your developments, not just as an artist, but like as a human.
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty great. And your last album, the songwriting, and I told you this, is just mind-blowingly good.
Thank
But
you.
this is probably just getting better to why you're here. Probably.
Feels like it. I feel like
Sound like it's easier to get into deeper emotions in songwriting.
it's just easier to do everything. Especially the ADHD stuff. It's like, oh, I can actually focus now. And people have that fear as well. They're like, oh, if I take ADHD meds, I won't be creative. And I'm like, I've never been more creative in my whole life.
Yeah.
I've never been able to, because I used to have like really good song ideas, but actually from top to tail executing that idea got muddled. And now it's like, oh yeah, that da 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 da. Like I used to do like a song in a day, and now it's like we'll do like 3 songs in a day. Because it's just easier to organize your ideas.
Okay.
And just like refine your creativity.
You have them like in a Dropbox or something? Like the depression folder, the joy.
Imagine. No, I'm religious about the iPhone notes. Because bear in mind, back in the day, up until, the last album, I used to take this big bag. I had these leather bound journal books in it. And they were my source of songs.
Yeah.
And for a while, it was like, I felt pressured to take them places because then you kind of got known for taking these books with you.
Yeah.
And eventually I was like, no, I'm over it. And obviously iPhones and stuff, they all speak to each other. So my notes are on my computer, my iPad, my phone, everything.
God knows what else.
Well, it's like I can access them wherever. Yeah. And it's great because it's like, I will, just as you do, like you're out and about, you come up with an idea and then you just automatically write it down. And then I'll go home and I'll flesh it out while I'm watching a podcast or something and research some things and look stuff up. Yeah. So that I've pretty much loads of it done before I walk in the room.
I dig it. Janet, what do you do when you want like a little break from music? Like to keep,
Horses. Yeah. Can't listen to music.
Can't listen to music, right?
No, but you can sing.
Why can't you listen to music? Is it because...
Oh, there's...
Are you... I don't know. Here in Nashville, all my musicians friends, when we go to a concert, they're like this. And from the audio audience, they're like shrugging, like observing. They're not enjoying. Why? Is it because you're like,
No, it's because I get asked to ride very fearful horses. Because I'm an idiot who will get on horses that are afraid of everything.
Okay.
So I have to be aware of everything that's going on.
Wait. So you pick the wrong horses? Is that what you found?
No, they keep me on my toes.
They keep you on your toes.
Like, thank God for that album cover because I had a horse the other day just rear up because another horse in the field did. And I was like, oh, God damn. Right. But because I'd had to do it so many times to that album, I was like, oh, you idiot, move on. Whereas normally you would be like, oh, my God. But you can't listen to music because you have to be aware of your surroundings. But singing to horses is a thing you do to calm them down.
See, you've done that, but is that like real? I ask out of ignorance. Like, is that like a real...
I've done it, yeah, where like I had this crazy pony I was riding, trying to retrain it, and we'd be out in the roads, and you just sing things, and then their little feet are like metronomes anyway, so you just sing along, and it apparently calms them down, but it also calms you down as a rider, and it also helps you have a laugh.
Like thunder, what do you think of this?
There was a really good TikTok one actually that someone did, like if you think about the motion of horse hooves on ground, and they were like, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, and I'm like, that's one that's going in my back pocket from now on. Because like as a kid, like I used to go up on my little pony up into the mountains, and I would sing. I have a distinct memory of being on the horse, her hoofs on the road, and I was singing "The River" by Garth Brooks. Because that's what I used to do. Because I was in the middle of nowhere, no one's around, and I just sing my horse.
Amazing. Visual.
Yeah.
For your movie in 10 years.
Oh yeah.
For the Janet Devlin.
A little 11-year-old me.
I don't know who's gonna play you, but that scene's gonna be in there.
It's a fun kind of combination of the two worlds, but you can sing, but you can't listen.
Well, Janet, I appreciate your time. I know you're in the middle of recording and you came during lunch. But let me ask you this. You've been in the music industry now, like the years are adding up a little, time's passing. But because, X Factor was what year?
2011. It's going to be 14 years.
14 years. Gosh. But my point that I want to bring is you have managed to keep, and this is hard because I know it's hard, like this industry is rough of times, the egos, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you have managed to keep like your authenticity and you've managed to keep your joy.
Yes.
With just like a dash of skepticism, but just
healthy.
Exactly. But I don't know how you've managed to keep it a dash because it can be overbearing. How have you is it like your parents? Obviously, I mean your team, your manager.
Everything.
Like, how have you managed to create such a beautiful balance where you can still sit here and be your beautiful self, but
Irish family helps because they keep you grounded. My manager helps because like I've known him like 12 years now.
Yeah.
I also made a promise to myself that I wouldn't become jaded, because when I came into the industry at 16, and then you would be talking to people that are living your dream job.
Yeah.
Like, your whole life you want to be like a singer-songwriter and an artist, and they're like, oh, this sucks, and da-da-da, and complaining and whining and da-da-da. And it's like, oh my God. Like there's been times where I've had to be like, slap myself to be like, if you spoke to 12-year-old Janet in that tone, complaining, read through. Like, I don't want to be that person who complains about the industry. Like, it's not going to change it. It is what it is. Like, that's why I always say, like, I'm not in the industry, because I don't feel like I am. Yeah, well, I like, a lot of people get caught up in the things that don't matter, and I've just, through necessity, really, it's just like keeping your head down, making new things, be it online stuff, music, like just trying to keep the ship afloat. You don't get time to sit back and complain, nor would I want to, because again, I'm doing my dream job, a job that 12-year-old me would have been really angry if someone was like, yeah, you're going to be a singer. She would have been like, why would you lie to me? So I get to do that, and I'm aware of how much of a privilege that is, and I'm aware of how many people exist on this planet that are 20 million times better than me that aren't doing it because of circumstance. So I'll just keep doing it till I can't anymore.
I love it.
Try and have fun.
Like Willie Nelson or something.
Yeah, like you look at Dolly and stuff, she's still enjoying it, loving every minute of it. And that's what's amazing. Like, lead with love and have a good time.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Well, Janet, we love having you. And I get a sense that you're in the middle of like just entering the best chapter of your career. I feel like you're about to create some sort of crazy masterpieces.
I hope so.
And I feel like this is like a stamp in time in your career and in music. And we're so happy that you're here.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for tuning in. Click here to subscribe and get the latest from the show, including exclusive behind-the-scenes footage and once-in-a-lifetime performances. And as always, thank you for making J-Rock Concerts Media part of your day.